Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Inside the World of TCR. In this sixth and last episode of 2020, we head to Italy and Japan to reveal who's been crowned champions in those series. We'll catch up with one of the new faces in TCR, the Belgian driver Nicolas Baert, and we'll look to the future with a glimpse of ETCR. Stay with us. The sixth and final event of TCR Italy took place at Imola, with 4 drivers still in contention for the title. 2018 TCR Europe champion and WTCR race winner Mikel Adconar enrolled as a guest driver to support Salvatore Tavano in his attempt to retain the crown. At the start of the first race, Jacopo Guidetti took the lead from pole ahead of Jonathan Giacon and Eric Brigliadori. In the middle of the pack there was the usual melee and Matteo Poloni went off track. While the two Motorsport drivers battled for the lead, they opened a gap that Adconar, who'd started from P8, was swift to spot and so passed them both. The young Spaniard immediately pushed to create a gap, leaving his rivals to fight for the other podium places. On lap 4, Brigliadori's hopes of becoming champion suffered a major blow as the points leader slowed, pitted and then retired with a technical issue. 1 lap later, Jelmini passed Guidetti for third and then tried to close the gap to Giacon. On lap 10, Marco Pellegrini, another title contender, spun off and dropped from 5th to 11th. On lap 12, Igor Stefanovski managed to pass Nicolas Baert for P6. 1 lap later, Baert retired. Adconar won with a 7-second margin over Giacon, who successfully defended second position from Jelmini. Guidetti and Akhmedov finished 4th and 5th. Tavano, by finishing 7th, retook the lead in the standings with a margin of 8 points over Brigliadori. But with Tavano starting last and Brigliadori 7th in the last race of the season, the title battle was still wide open. At the start, Igor Stefanovski, second on the grid, started better than Mikel Adconar, who was on pole. Nevertheless, it didn't take long for the Spaniard to pass the Macedonian. This was when it happened into the Villeneuve chicane, thanks to this move. On lap 2, into the Rivazza, Jelmini, probably distracted by the hard, smoky braking of Stefanovski right in front of him, completely missed his braking point. He went into the gravel, and that was the end of his race. At almost the same location, but 1 lap later, this was the aggressive way Jonathan Giacon passed Igor Stefanovski for second into Rivazza 2. The Macedonian pitted and then rejoined. Giacon was under pressure, and on lap 5, Eric Brigliadori, desperately looking for points to grab the title, took to the grass going into turn 1 and managed to overtake him for second into Tamburello. On the same lap, Baert passed Pellegrini for P4 with this move into Acqua Minerali. 1 more lap and Pellegrini lost 5th position to Jacopo Guidetti, who passed him with this move into Piratella. On lap 7, Guidetti moved up another place in the standings when Nicolas Baert made a slight mistake going wide into Acqua Minerali. 8 laps into the race, and while running third, Giacon slowed and had to retire. While leading comfortably, Mikel Adconar made a rare mistake and went onto the grass into the Acqua Minerali. Nevertheless, his gap over Brigliadori was large enough that he managed to keep the lead. After starting from P20, Tavano had recovered to P5, an amazing performance, but with Brigliadori in second, it wasn't enough to give him the championship title. Mikel Adconar claimed his second race win of the weekend, while Eric Brigliadori was second in front of Guidetti. With that result, Brigliadori and Tavano finished on equal points, and so Brigliadori provisionally clinched the title, having won 3 races versus Tavano's 1. But 1 week later, the Sporting Tribunal overturned the decision, which denied Jelmini his win in the first race in Misano earlier in the season. The decision demoted Brigliadori and Tavano to second and third in that race, and as a consequence, Brigliadori lost 6 points and Tavano 2. So, in the end, Tavano retained the TCR Italy title with a 4-point gap over Brigliadori, while Jelmini finished third. TCR Japan went to Suzuka at the beginning of December. In the first race, Hirobon made the best start from P3 on the grid and led into turn 1. However, he was then passed by Takuro Shinohara, who was in a league of his own for the rest of the race and took a dominant win. By finishing second, Matsumoto retained the lead in the standings, while Drago Racing's lady driver Ryo Shimono completed the podium. In the second race, Shimono made a better start than pole sitter Shinohara and led into turn 1. Matsumoto tried to pass Shinohara on the outside line, but their cars clashed and they spun, collecting the Cupra of Hirobon. Both Shinohara and Hirobon retired, while Matsumoto pitted for repairs and rejoined, having lost one lap. For Ryo Shimono, this was her maiden TCR Japan victory. Reshu Shioya and Takuya Shirasaka were classified second and third. In the third race, things didn't go so well for Shimono, and on lap 6 she retired after this collision with fellow Honda driver Shioya while they were fighting for fourth. For Takuro Shinohara, it was yet another win, the 7th through 10 races. Matsumoto was second, 4 seconds adrift, while Hirobon completed the podium. The season finale then took place in Fuji. Takuro Shinohara, who mathematically had already secured the Saturday Series title after his win in Suzuka, finished the season in style, claiming yet another victory. Ryo Shimono finished 6th overall and was crowned champion in the Saturday Series bronze class. Hirobon was classified second, while Shioya beat Matsumoto for third place. At the start of the last race, Hirobon was faster than pole sitter Shinohara and led the field, with Matsumoto and Reshu Shioya in third and fourth. Hirobon's lead, though, didn't last long, and on lap 2 he was passed by Shinohara, who kept P1 until the end, grabbing his 9th win from 12 races. Hirobon encored his second place from race 1, and the 2019 champion Matsumoto completed the podium in third position. Shioya was 4th, Shimono 5th, and Okura 6th. Throughout the short 2020 TCR Europe season, uncertainty and fierce battles thrilled the spectators. In the end, Come To You Racing prevailed thanks to a perfect season finale in Harama. They won the team's classification in front of Italy's target competition and the driver's title, with Mehdi Benani being crowned champion. Their success was rounded off by third place in the driver's standings, going to the 19-year-old rookie Nicolas Baert. 5th in Spanish F4 in 2019, the Belgian debuted in touring cars in 2020 and quickly learnt how to shine in this complicated discipline, where normally experience is a distinct advantage.
It was a bit like it was a normal season for me. Something that really helped me, to be honest, was the sim racing championship we had, because I learned the other guys I was driving with. For me, it was better to start like that than a normal season, and that's something I'm really happy with, because when I arrived in Le Castellet for the first race, I knew how the race will be, so it really helped me. Of course, Zolder, but home race, pole position, first win, and a good second race. Yeah, of course, it was my dream race. Winning at home was the best feeling I could have. My only mistake in Zolder was my start for race 1, when Omola overtook me, and I was like, oh no, I want to win this race. I need to win this race. And immediately in the first lap, I overtook him back. When you see my result this year as a first season, I think there's no problem for me to do a second year and fight for the title.
The challenge for 2021 is already clear. This is the stunning Hyundai Veloster N ETCR. At the end of November, we went to Vallelunga, where WSC had organised an official test session. We had the opportunity to chat to Augusto Farfus, one of the most experienced drivers in touring cars, and currently engaged by Hyundai as their ETCR test driver.
This new challenge with the electric engine makes everything new. The read of the car, the setup, all the development we are doing to get the car into the window. It is a brand new and very exciting period for my driving career. The car is fast. It is very different from everything I drove so far, and I'm really loving it. The driving style for these cars are very different. Tires are different, the weight of the car, the power delivery is very different. So it is a kind of a learning process for me, for the engineers, for the team. We're coming from a long way. There is still a lot of stuff to work and to develop on the car, but I'm sure the race will be very exciting. It's going to be a new challenge for drivers, mechanics, and engineers. The whole project, let's say, is new. The whole software is new. There is many different aspects to work on it. There is all the engineers trying to optimize from traction control, power management, trying to understand also how going to be the race format, how the power delivery is going to be. So it is a very intense testing. There is not a lot of mileage to be done because also you have to consider you have to charge the car, so you have some stop during the day. That's why we are trying to optimize the test as much as we can to be ready to deliver a good show for next year.
The official charging supplier for ETCR is NLX, the Italian company which is already very well known in the world of electric motorsport. We asked Michele Cecchini, the head of e-motorsport at NLX, just why the company is involved in racing.
Motorsport environment is the right laboratory for what we want to do, and what we want to do is to develop technology in order to enable the energy transformation. What is better than a track, a circuit, to develop something, to accelerate the development process and to make more and more robust products. Moreover, we think that the sustainability is something that is going to be very important for the motorsport. We like to be the one who is enabling this transformation, making some sustainable motorsport activities.
WSC will be organising a number of other tests in the coming months, and we'll be there with our crew to update you. That then was Inside the World of TCR episode 20. We'll be back next year with action from all the TCR series from around the world, together with the brand new ETCR. For now though, it's goodbye and stay safe.